Hey mate, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Welcome back to, of course, Chelsea News, huh? The daily series. Fancy seeing me here. The daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it, more importantly asking for yours, of course. Big news coming out from Stamford B. Petr Cech has walked away from Chelsea, stepped down, decided to leave. We're going to be reflecting on said statement from Chelsea's official website, mate. We're also talking about Lukaku completing his deal this week to Inter. We're talking about Juve being okay with the Timo Werner swap deal, and we'll look a little bit closer at Matthijs de Ligt's statistics. We'll get him up on screen and look closely, because we yet to do that with Matthijs de Ligt. So thank you for joining me. I hope you're going to enjoy this video, mate. Please do drop a like if you want to show some sweet love and support to your local Jan content creator, and you are, of course, all welcome to subscribe should you choose to do so. Please hit that sweet bell. All right, mate. To be honest, we should jump straight in with this story coming from Chelsea that Petr Cech will leave effective 30th of June, 3 days time. Which I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. It's pretty like, I don't know, the exodus is crazy. Bruce, Marina, now Petr, a complete clean break, a complete clean slate. Many expected Bruce Buck to go. Many expected even Marina to go, despite her being, an excellent negotiator. People thought, you know what, she's been linked to Roman for a long time. Clean break. But, Chelsea legend Petr Cech, who seemed like he could perform promising stuff in this role, we all thought he was going to stay, but by all accounts, it sounds like he's walked away from this. Okay, let's read the statement, then we can speculate. So this is coming from Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club today announces that Petr Cech, technical and performance advisor, will leave his role effective 30th of June. Since his appointment 3 years ago, 3 years, Cech has provided advice and guidance on all football and performance matters throughout the club, while strengthening the links between the men's academy, the men's and the academy teams. Cech said, "It's been a huge privilege to perform this role at Chelsea for the past 3 years. With the club under new ownership, I feel now is the right time for me to step aside. I'm pleased that the club is now in an excellent position with the new owners, and I'm confident of its future success, both on and off the pitch." So Todd Boehly, chairman and co-controlling owner, he said, "Petr is an important member of the Chelsea family. We understand his decision to step away, and we thank him for his contributions as an advisor and his commitment to the club and to our community. We wish him the best." So Petr has made this decision to step down, to step aside, to leave Chelsea. Many of us were like, oh, we hope he stays, because he represents greatness at Chelsea. Super intelligent, always he speaks like 5 or 6 languages. He's won it all with Chelsea. He's a respected intellectual and a promising man in terms of working in football. So, there's an iconic moment of when he went out to meet the protesters at Stamford Bridge and stuff. I thought that was all leading to somewhere of this guy becoming a really important figure in the club. Now, I'm guessing we have to read this on face value, on surface value, that he's decided to step down. Is there, you could always speculate. When people sometimes have a conversation, it sometimes could be like, we've all decided that this isn't for you, but it looks better if you say you step down. Now, of course, I'm not suggesting that's happened. I've got nothing to go off. But, I'm just sort of throwing it out there. That can happen sometimes. It is disappointing. I thought he would be the one to stay. But at the end of the day, you've got to trust the process. This new process that none of us know much about. Things are changing, baby. If there's one thing for sure, the status quo at Chelsea wasn't good enough and needed change. And boy, are we getting change from top to bottom. So we got to go a bit. Don't swim against the current, man. Put your arms up, let yourself float. See where it takes you. I'll try and think of, you know what? I was going to try and think of some profound, proverb about a river and flow state. But we'll move on. It's football. Damn, let me know what you think, man. Comment down below. Let's see what the people are saying about Petr Cech leaving. Wow. Okay. Bombshell. So let's move on to transfers and whatnot. So coming from Matt Law, I believe he tweeted this yesterday evening. Romelu Lukaku's season-long loan to his return to Inter Milan should be finalised on Wednesday in Milan after the striker, well, I should say Milan, not Milan, because it's Inter, after the striker has taken a medical. And that is in 2 days' time. So the day after tomorrow, he's going to have this medical. All the terms are agreed between Chelsea and Inter for the season-long loan. Not financially preferable for Chelsea. Marina Granovskaya would have hated that deal. She's obviously leaving. Todd Boehly has come in. He's taken a few L's on the chin because he wants to get things right. He wants to back the manager. Romelu Lukaku back to Inter is one of those. He will be 30 by the time, or turning 30 by the time his loan ends. Wow. Do we want that guy back on that wages at that age? No, we don't, ladies and gentlemen. So that's your update there. Let's move on to other strikers. Timo Werner. Man, I love Timo Werner. Apparently he's agreed to go to Juventus in this deal for Matthijs de Ligt. And furthermore, apparently Juventus have agreed to do a swap deal evaluation. So this is coming from Daniele Longo, who is calciomercato.com, working for them. He says, and this is a translated tweet from Italian, so obviously covers Italian football, Juventus. He'll tweet in Italian. But, you know, let's see what he says. Negotiation with Chelsea and Juve for de Ligt. Juventus have given the okay for Werner as a technical compensation. Basically, they've said, yes, we'll take Timo Werner plus cash for Matthijs de Ligt. There's still distance on the economic balance. Pretty much, they want more money. But the Blues are convinced they can close the deal. There's so much to unpack here. Firstly, this is a further testament to new Chelsea owner Todd Boehly really trying to instigate swap deals, or as he'd probably call them, trades, which is fine. I think Chelsea would still probably feel like we'd be taking an L here because Matthijs de Ligt hasn't played his best football at Juve. He is very good still, though. And I don't know, I just feel like we're not going to be getting the better end of the deal here. But that's where we're at. And, you know, like the Lukaku situation, us taking an L to rebuild and refresh, and we might have to do a little bit of that here as well. Now, Timo Werner reportedly happy to go to Juventus and be their striker. I guess he'd be the main man over there. He's probably, in a way, I don't know if he's still friends with Tammy and Tomori and maybe even Giroud, but he's probably seen all of them go to Serie A and have a lovely time, all respectively winning trophies. And probably thinks, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. You know what I mean? I'll be the main man. Timo Werner loves the Chelsea fans because they sing his name. We've given him a great song. Even the song, you know, Thiago at the back, Timo in attack, it was always him. We always sang about him because he leaves it all on the pitch. He works really hard. He's got a good attitude. He's a really funny, nice chap. And that gets you real far in the game. You know, as long as you work hard and you're not a dickhead, your fans will like you, man. You can miss chances. But, you know, many people would love it if it worked out at Chelsea and became like this sort of counter-attacking demon. But because you like someone, sometimes love isn't always enough, ladies and gentlemen. If you love him, let him go and all that. So, yeah, it'll be nice to see him tear it up at Juve. And if Thomas Tuchel truly does want Matthijs de Ligt and it's his primary target, then yeah, you know, we need attackers out the door at the end of the day to get a couple in. I guess it's going to be Lukaku and Timo Werner. Lest we forget who's our two highest earners on the wage books. I think it's Lukaku and Timo Werner. I think Kante's up there as well, but certainly them two are right, you know, two in the top three. That's smart business. You get the wages off the books. Do you know what I mean? So it's sad, but at the end of the day, if this is what the manager wants, we've got to start moving into the position of backing the manager. So you might get Werner and Lukaku out, and then you get Sterling and one other in, whether that's Ousmane Dembele. That story's got a little bit peculiar. It's like he almost definitely won't sign for Barcelona, but he almost definitely won't sign for Chelsea either. So he's going to go and start playing tennis. Right, so let's talk about Matthijs de Ligt because Chelsea are convinced, so saith this Italian journalist, that we can get this deal done. And I don't think he's had the best time at Juventus. I looked back at that video of him doing that speech to tens of thousands of Ajax fans as a 19-year-old after captaining the first team to a league title. And you just think, wow, this kid is born for greatness. Maybe he didn't, he wasn't, maybe his persona, his leadership character got lost amidst Chiellini and Bonucci, and I think was Barzagli already gone when he was there? I can't remember. But you can't really be the alpha between those guys out there. But let's take a look at his stats. Ding, ding. This is a scouting report on FBref. No 99th percentiles, which is, not amazing, but he's he dispossessed 0.03 times per 90. If he's got the ball, you don't get it off him. And he's got some offensive stuff there. He rarely gets dribbled past, but top 8%. So he's good at pressing, which is good for a centre back. Successful pressure, 41. Best part of 42%. And then again, shots on targets, passed, receives. Bit of an old school defender, passes, blocks. I forget what SCA is. I should have looked that up. My bad. Passes, attempts, passes out of bounds. Goals again. So I think he loves a header. Basically, he's that kind of like an old school centre back in terms of getting stuck in, winning aerials and stuff. People are split on him because suddenly he's not played the best football lately. People are like, oh, he's the Dutch Harry Maguire. That's simply not true. And Harry Maguire used to be quite a good penalty box defender. He's just become, he's almost allowed himself to become this caricature. Matthijs de Ligt is more cultured than Harry Maguire. He can play all across the back three. He could play in the middle. He could play on either side. And he is very, very physically aggressive, which, of course, suits the Premier League. You need to be very aggressive. You can't be, soft. Some people thought, Christensen's better suited to Barcelona than he is the Premier League. And you might say something like, Matthijs de Ligt is better suited to the Premier League than he is other European leagues. Do you know what I mean? There's reports suggesting now the Koundé deal might not happen. I'm not sure how true that is. But we will, for my money, need two centre-backs. If we start with Matthijs de Ligt, get Timo Werner's wages off the books. For me, that's a good start. Again, this is very much backing the manager and seeing what he says. Remember, Thomas Tuchel, he sees Chelsea being successful from being a really stubborn team still. He still maintains that philosophy. The way he wants to win is he wants to be a team that no one wants to play against. And that's not just defending in your own defensive third, that's just being you just don't give up chances anywhere on the pitch, and you do a lot of pressing and counter-pressing. It looks like Matthijs de Ligt can be a pressing centre-half. It looks like it will suit us down to a team. We'll see what happens with that. We'll follow the story, of course, but like I said, Daniele Longo saying the Blues are convinced they can close this deal. Well, so Koundé, we'll see what happens. I think he probably does still want to come to Chelsea, but he's probably frustrated with what's going on behind the scenes. Sevilla just asking for a lot of money still. Comes to attackers, of course, Raheem Sterling remains the primary target for Chelsea. City are probably weighing out for a little bit more cash, but I think from the noises we've heard that they've probably accepted that he and Jesus has gone to Arsenal. They probably think, yeah, we've accepted that. We'll make about 100 million. The players they probably would have liked to have kept, or as rotational players, especially with 5 subs. But if it plays for Erling Haaland for them, they'll understand. They're taking risks as well, because they'll have Haaland and Alvarez in now, 2 players that are yet to play in the league, and they're getting rid of 2 players who have consistently helped them in the Premier League in Jesus and Raheem Sterling. The more I watch, highlights of Raheem Sterling, the more I think about his professional character and how he's leads, and how he's probably at a time in his career where he could probably step up and the new challenge could probably suit him. The more I feel positively about Raheem Sterling. So we'll watch that story with keen eyes here on the channel. Make sure you are subscribed with the bell on, because that story would move very quick, I imagine, once it starts going. And we could sign Raheem Sterling, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for joining me today. Let me know what you think about all the stories I've discussed. Petr Cech, Lukaku's return, Timo Werner, Matthijs de Ligt. I'll be really keen to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you for keeping it locked and the support on the channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.